Go on.
Neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination.
Right. Neither made up the hedge. You know what that's talking about? Protection. Because he's not telling you what's going to happen. He's not telling you about martial law. He's not telling you about the chip. He's not telling you the real terrible things that are coming to this place called America. He's not telling you about that. He's skating away from it into some madness. Go on.
For the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination.
Right. They have seen vanity and lying divination. And that's what he was saying. Vanity and lying divination. Go on.
Saying, the Lord saith.
Saying, the Lord saith. And you watch this guy and you really think the Most High is with him. Most High ain't with that guy, man. As we will prove. That's the premise of our show. Go on.
And the Lord hath not sent them.
The Lord hath not sent this man. First of all, where's his beard? Is it not written in the law that even Jesus Christ wore a beard, or Yahweh Shai, which you so-called Negroes, you call him Jesus Christ, but his name is Yahweh Shai in the ancient Hebrew. Even he wore a beard. The prophets wore beards. Matter of fact, there's an account in the Bible where I believe it was the Ammonites that they shaved off half the beard of two of King David's men, which were Israelites. And you know what King David told those men? Don't even come back into the city unless your beard grows back. Showing you how important it was for a man to have a beard on his face. Go on.
And they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word.
And that's the part that we wanted. They have made others to hope that they can confirm the word. That's why you hear the congregation yelling, yeah, go on, preach on. That's right. To make others to hope they can confirm the word. Now, go from there to Isaiah the 29th chapter and 13. Isaiah 29 and 13. Let's talk more about those wicked-ass niggas that was in this congregation, yelling and whooping. Yeah! That's why, you know what? That's why the Lord called you so-called Negroes a hypocritical nation. And that's why the Most High is so mad at you. That's why you niggas are dying in the ghettos, man. Because you're a bunch of hypocrites. Right, that's why you were floating down the river or floating down the ravine in Katrina, in New Orleans after the hurricane event called Katrina. Go on.
Isaiah 29 and 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth.
Yeah, preach on. Yeah. Yeah, preach the word, brother. That's right. Go on.
And with their lips do honor me.
Oh, I love the Lord. Oh, I love the Lord. If loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right. All that bullshit, man. And you even have that among our nation. And when I say our nation, I'm among Israelites. Like that goon, the discomforter. The same thing in his congregation. You hear the same madness. He ain't no different than Farrakhan. He ain't no different than them slick, fatback preachers, man. He's the same. He's on the same caliber. Go on.
And with their lips do honor me.
And with their lips do honor me. Yes, Lord. I love you, Lord. I love the Lord. Go on.
But have removed their heart far from me.
Right. They're not doing what the Lord say to do. Like Farrakhan. He's up there claiming he's a prophet, but where's his beard? Did not the Lord say to wear a beard on your face? Yes, he did. And that's just one example. All right? Is that it on that? Go on.
It says, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
Right, which is what the Most High didn't teach. Now, basically, when you listen to this guy's message, we're just going to bring it to you straight. Basically, he's saying that Elijah Muhammad is Jesus Christ. That's basically what the premise of his message in that clip was, because we got another clip for you. Now, you got the scripture, right, in Matthew? Because he's one of many that's coming saying another man is Jesus Christ. And we even have that today with this goon called the Discomforter. Basically, the Discomforter, a roundabout way, is saying that he's Jesus Christ. Then you have another damn homosexual idiot that calls himself the prophet Yahweh. He's going around saying that he's Jesus Christ. You got all these nut jobs, these nutballs coming out talking about their Jesus Christ. Well, let's go into the scriptures and see if that's not prophecy. Go on.
Matthew 24:4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
You know what, brother? Start at the first verse, man.
And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
Yeah, in 70 AD, that happened. To a certain extent, 70 AD, Jerusalem was burnt to the ground. And that's our history. That's not the so-called Jews. That's not their history. That's our history. When you read about Masada, that's talking about us, you so-called Negroes. You got to wake up and find out these so-called Jews are not the real Jews. That's why they call themselves Jewish. They stole our history, and by the way, it was them that they were the driving force bringing us into captivity. They were the ones that financed it, the so-called Jews. So they got a lot to pay for, them damn bastards. And we're going to have them as our slaves very soon. Thus saith the Lord. Go on.
And as he sat upon the mountain of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming?
So that's one of the signs. You're going to have a lot of nutballs out there calling themselves Jesus Christ. Another example, David Koresh, down there in Waco, Texas.
Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Yahweh ben Yahweh, another nutball, another nut job. Yeah, well, he's dead, he was dead when he was alive. Talking about he's Jesus Christ. David Koresh, like I mentioned. Another, what's that guy from Jonestown, Guyana? Yeah, Jim Jones, another guy who claimed to be Jesus Christ. Right, which he was set up by the CIA, which is an adjunct of the international bankers. That's all they are. Go on.
And of the end of the world.
And of the end. So so the disciples, so we can put it in proper perspective, the disciples asked Yahushua, what's going to be the sign of your coming? How are we going to know when you're coming? And the end of the world. Now, what does it mean, the end of the world? It means the end of the so-called white man's world. All right? Because this world, as we know it, is not going to come to an end. The whole, when I say the whole world, but a certain kingdom or a certain rulership on the world is coming to an end, and that's the so-called white man's world. You got to look up the word world. All right? There's many different definitions for the word world. You got to know what kind of world you're talking about. All right?
It comes from that word world there in the Greek is the word eon, and from the Latin word seculi, which both mean an age, a dispensation of time.
Right, because there's many worlds. You go to the book of Hebrews 1 and 3, it talks about the word world. Worlds is there. I'm sorry, worlds is there. All right, because there's different worlds. Okay, go on.
Verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Right, take heed that no man deceive you, because that's the aim of all these self-professed Jesus Christ nut jobs. They're really set up to deceive. Go on.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
Right, Yahushua gave us a clue. He said in the last days of this world, the so-called white man's world, many shall come saying, I am Christ. Yeah.
I can say this too. Now, to show you how much of a demon Farrakhan is, in this clip, he's saying that he's saying that Elijah Muhammad or Richard Pooh is Jesus Christ, right? So-called Jesus Christ. But in other clips, he said that he's the Lamb, that he's the Christ, basically. So to show you that this is all a bunch of BS.
Right, and the Lord said a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So that's the mark of a double-minded man. All right, go on.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Right, and shall deceive many, but they're not going to deceive the elect. Because that's why the scripture have said, if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. All right? Now, what do you got there? Okay, well, bring it out.
Verse 23.